Josh, the first question must be, how are you doing? How's your knee?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm just thankful that I have some time off. I'm able to let it heal. It's one of those things that it needs time, and so now I have that, and I'll use the summer to get back fit.
What hurt more in Munich, your knee or that you couldn't help the team anymore?
Definitely that I couldn't help the team. You know, having had the season that we had up until that point, and I think actually having a good chance in the tournament, it was a little disappointing not being able to play at full strength, not being able to help the team get those wins. And so I was able to be there to support, but I wish I would have been able to play.
How have you been acting as a captain to support the team while not being on the roster? Did you had some speech or something like that?
Yeah, I did. It's one of my things that I always do. I'm a vocal leader. I always have been, and so whenever I can offer advice, whenever I can offer encouragement, I do it. And I tried to do it with this group, in particular, having some new guys and trying to bring us together. But I tried to let the guys on the floor let their voices be heard and let them lead.
Due to the circumstances with less players, you guys look like suffering there, and I know that many fans here suffered too because they saw you fighting and coming back and all that. What about your feelings during these games? Have you been able to think about comeback wins, or was it like, hey, the opponents are too strong this time?
I think when I watched the games, I came back to the same thought that I had in the entire season, and that is that if we play as hard as we can, we always give ourselves a chance to win. I think in some of the games we took a quarter off, 2 quarters off, and in the tournament it just wasn't enough against the opponents that we were playing. You see that in the last game when we put together a strong effort, play extremely hard, how the result can be.
How has this been possible? It was a third game in 4 days, and I mean everybody was exhausted after the Bamberg game. So did that impress you, the win over Kratz?
I was extremely impressed. I sat there with Travis Simpson on the side, and we just talked about how well the team played together, how well they moved the basketball. The scoring was extremely balanced. I think 7 out of the 8 players scored in double figures, which is kind of unheard of. So the ability to do it was always there. I'm just glad that they tapped into that, and to be able to finish the season off with a win was nice.
What about the last evening in Munich? How did you guys come together and then left for Vechta again?
Well, we had dinner together, and then we all went and sat in the little lounge area. A few guys had some drinks. We talked, we reminisced about the season, a lot of laughter. It was really a good time.
Before the season was interrupted due to the corona pandemic, we were in 6th place in the standings. Is the performance of this season almost more impressive to a small club like this than last year's Cinderella story?
I think so. I think it's a confirmation of what was being built here. And so last year obviously was an unbelievable year, but I think a lot of people thought that we couldn't do that again. And so to bring in new guys, mostly a new team, and to be able to perform at that high of a level, to be able to compete in a playoff spot for most of the season, I think was extremely impressive.
Have you had a moment in your mind what was most memorable of the season? Maybe the win at Athens, or 3 days later here against Braunschweig, or maybe something totally else?
I think both of those wins were extremely important and stick out in my mind. The win against Braunschweig is obviously I think gonna take the cake, because I've never been a part of anything like that at any level playing basketball. To come back after being down 27 points in a quarter, having not played a good game up until that point, it showed the resiliency of this team. It showed the fighting spirit that we've been known to have, and so I was just really impressed by our ability to push through and come back and get that win.
And we are sitting here in the locker room where you meet for every practice, every game, sometimes lots of applause, sometimes maybe tears. So what happened in this locker room? What was most maybe impressive or bring you to a laugh?
I just think about all the people that have come into this locker room and played in this organization in the past couple of years, and how we've been able to understand each other, get to know different people from different backgrounds, to come into this place specifically, and all of us having the same goal to go out there, improve every day, to get wins. I think that's the memory that sticks with me the most about this place.
In your early 30s now, you had a fantastic season, great stats. Why did it work so well for you this year? Because you had your teammates, because you know the coach well, because your shooting was well. What was the most important point of that?
I think just being comfortable. Having been my third year here with the organization and my second year under the same system, same coaching staff, was really familiar for me. I understood my role that was given to me. I tried to maximize it as best as I could, and I think the coaching staff really did a good job of giving not only me but my teammates confidence to do what we do best, and I was able to do that.
You played your whole professional career in Germany now, like 10 years now. 32 of age, now a little bit hurt, but what do you think about the next years?
I think that I hope that I have a few years left. I've been extremely blessed to be able to play in this country that has afforded me a lot of opportunity, and specifically in the area of basketball. It's been unbelievable. It's a place that I love being. I think the basketball in the league has grown a lot over the last 10 years, and so it's a great league to play in, and hopefully I can continue.
Do you think that this tournament can have an impact about how other people from other countries see basketball in Germany?
I think so. I think that was almost kind of the point, is because the tournament, the league was so visible because other people weren't playing. I think they did a really good job and put out a good product, and so people who might never have thought about the German league now have seen it. It's been visible to them, and so they might think twice about coming here.
One more time back to the tournament. Our coach Pedro Caixinha posted a photo of you and him after the game against Frankfurt. Is your relationship a special one? Because I know that Pedro does not post a lot of pictures.
Yeah, that was special for me. I saw it when he posted it. I've had an unbelievable opportunity to get to know Pedro for the last 4 years. When I was injured the first year that I came here, I spent a lot of time with him as being the assistant to the assistant. And I think that's where we really laid the foundation of our relationship. And then having been under his tutelage for the last 3 years to be able to play for him, it's grown with every step. Our communication is great. The way that he gives confidence to me, the respect that we have for one another is really second to none.
He will now spend his off-season, like coaches do, with working on the new roster. So what are your plans for the off-season? Vacation, staying in Germany, going back to the US?
Yeah, I want to go back home. It's been almost 11 months that we've been here, and so I've got little nieces and nephews that are growing fast. So one of my favorite parts of the year is being able to go back, see them, obviously see my brother, my sisters, my family, but just to go back, get healthy, and be ready to come back for a new season.
There are two great topics these times in the US. The one is the corona pandemic, but the other one is the racism problem. So what kind of feelings do you go there in topics of the racism?
Yeah, I actually go there pretty hopeful. I know I've seen a lot that's taken place. We all have, not just in America, but throughout the world with these topics. And I think that now people are starting to recognize that it actually is a problem. People are starting to realize maybe advantages, privileges that they had that they didn't recognize before. And so I think the climate in America is a little up and down right now, but I'm hoping that here in the near future we'll be able to come together even stronger.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.